Yeah, it's like James Bond. Hello there, Emily. How are you today? I'm from Edinburgh. I'd love to go to York. Oh, that's good. Yeah. York's nice. I mean, I like to go to Edinburgh as well or come visit you. Oh, really? All right. Well, that would be cool. Yeah. It's just I've had times where people would say, "Oh, yeah, we could," blah blah blah, and then it's just a joke. Like a lot of the people on this app is just they'll just kind of dangle the carrot and just I don't know. I don't even know what's even real anymore. So yeah. Anyway, but it is what it is. Bear with me a second. Yeah, it's just hard to really trust anything anymore, really. Like, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Well, let's just put this in. Maybe this will help. But yeah, you just see so many of these like people just saying, "Oh yeah, I really like you" and all this stuff, and then they just oh, hello Lanka, how you doing? You okay? Hope you're well today. Like they'll just have you think that there might be something, and then just to leave you out to dry. It's just kind of horrible, really. It's just not very nice when people do things like that. Hey, Weddy, how you doing? But I guess you just have to learn to sort of, come to kind of expect these things almost, which is sad, really. Hello, Sarkesh, how you doing? You have to learn to just sort of, not really have any expectations for anything, really. It's expectations that lead to disappointments and heartbreaks, is what I come to realize, but by not having any expectations, you're going to be a lot more chill about it. And yeah, so that's something I just have to kind of try and work on, really, is to not expect too much of anything. Yeah, so that's sorted. Thank you for the likes, Dama. You get people who just want to mess around, and you know what I mean. It's just it just gets draining, and I don't know. I just wish people could just be like honest. It's like if they're not interested, just don't actually lead people on. But some people just like to lead people on for their own gain. Like they get something out of that, I guess. They just maybe it's the attention that they get, and then once they get bored, they just move on to the next thing. Or maybe the validation that they get, you know, making them feel special, or whatever it might be. And once they get their fix, then they're away. Just lead you on, and it's just not nice. You know, this is the thing. Like, you know, yeah. Hello, Fruit Punch Samurai. How you doing? Hello, Ben Bobson Fondue. What's it like being the leader of Ukraine? Yeah, I've had that a lot before. People saying I look like the leader of the Ukraine. Hello, DXMXX. How you doing? You okay? I was getting some people in now. Getting a few. Don't know what happened there, but the last stream I tried, it just wasn't really pushing me out much. So yeah, yeah. How we doing? Make sure you subscribe if you're new here. Make sure you follow if you're new here, everybody. So yeah, I was at the gym last night and had a good workout session, and yeah. So I don't know what I'll be doing today. Really, I don't know if I'll be doing some workout later. It depends how I feel. Sometimes I'll maybe overdo it a bit. I can get a bit carried away sometimes. Hello, the chaotic curries. How you doing? Hope you're well today. Welcome to my live. Hope everyone's having a great day. anybody's new here, make sure you follow, make sure you subscribe, all that good stuff. So make sure you like the live, share it out if you can. So yeah, but yeah, just gotta try and stay positive, but also you want to be optimistic and all that, but at the same time, you also don't want to have any expectations. It's about balancing that, you know, because when you have high expectations for things, then a lot indigo nights. I mean, it can be a bit, but at least I've got you guys here. Hello, Brian. So yeah, at least I've got you guys here, and I can talk to people online and stuff, and that keeps me company and stuff. But if you're talking about like for like a woman or something, I mean, you could say it could be nice and all that, but it's just I'd rather just let things happen when they're meant to happen, kind of thing. Hello, Nobita. They say you'll find the one you love when you're not looking, or something like that. MMA J, yeah, I've just had that before. Indigo says I can't be myself all the time. Yeah, I get that. It can be a bit of a. Some people struggle with that, but I'm kind of like someone that can be a bit of a lone wolf at times. I can be a bit of a. I mean, I can. I'm actually okay with being by myself. I can. I've had days out by myself where I'd just be like, go for long ass walks, completely out somewhere, and I'm not with anybody, and just with my own thoughts. Like I was out last night. I was actually walking somewhere on my own last night, and I actually can enjoy that sometimes. That kind of peace and that quiet. Sometimes I like late night walks where there's just nobody really around. Hello, dead sailors. I don't know who's that. Hello, Kautora Beer. Oh, thank you. Thank you for follow, Bonnie. How you doing today, everybody? Hope you're all having a great day. Hello. Yeah, hello, people. Welcome into my live, everyone. So everyone having a good day. Hi, Bonnie from Tennessee. Nice to meet you, Bonnie. I'm doing fine, thank you. How's my southern accent? I know it sounds a bit stereotypical, but hello, Ron Woods. How you doing? Top of the morning here. Good to see you. Hope you well. Sorry if you think the camera's a bit kind of meh. I don't know. Or is it Australian accent? I can do Australian. G'day, mate. Uh, Hello, Insos. How you doing? Every week warm up. What do you mean every week warm up? You're saying that we're going to start warming up for like summer. We're in the middle of winter here at the moment, so it's not going to be warming up every week yet. So anyway, I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to do that. I don't really know a lot of Australian impressions. I could do like Maximus Decimus Meridius, commanders of the armies of the north. That kind of thing with it, what they call it, Russell Crowe. High decadence. Oh, here we go. Now we are getting trolls now. So yeah. Hello, Tina. Oh, you're upstate New York. What's the accent like up there? Is it different from New York or something like New York City? I mean, or is it like? I mean, just wondering like what it's like. But yeah, I'm from the UK, so I'm in York in the UK. So it's funny that yeah, you're from upstate New York, and I'm in York, the city of York in the UK. People can get a bit confused because when I say I'm from York, people then automatically think I mean New York City or something. I don't know, but I don't mean that. Okay, whatever, dead sailors. I'm just like, yeah, I'm just trying to just talk here at the moment, just trying to have chats and stuff. Okay, what is going on here? But I hope everyone's doing well. So yeah, again, if anyone's new, make sure you follow. So that would be really appreciated. Hi, Lil Viral Records. I mean, like, I just feel like the whole Israel Palestine thing is just some kind of, I don't know. I don't really have too much kind of, you know, interesting. I mean, I was kind of just more just talking about the. I mean, hello Emily, how you doing? Talking about this stuff the other day, but I don't know. I just feel like it's all a manufactured thing. That's both sides. It's just I don't know. I'm a bit skeptical of these sort of things, really. Um, shall I say? The whole Israel Palestine. It's like they want us all focusing on that, really. You know, it's like they want us all to just be distracted with all that when we've got our own issues in our own countries. Like, why do we want to be bothering about what's going on over there? I don't know. Like, it's not really something that really concerns me that much personally, but I do think possibly Israel is kind of, or at least the government is, I think they're what they're doing is wrong with if they're, you know, killing innocent people. But I also think the other side is also wrong for that as well if they're doing the same thing. Because what I understand is that both are, doing bad. And what if it's all just a manufactured thing to just, I don't know, just to increase power and, you know, control and all that. I mean, I don't know. I'm just a very, like, skeptical of these sorts of things. Hello, Ruben. How you doing? Hello, Muslim man Parsi. Welcome in. Are you from Iran? Oh yeah, Parsi. That's like from like Persia, isn't it? Because apparently, like the guy from, like what is it, Freddie Mercury from Queen. He was actually, well, I think he was born in India, but his family were from Persia or something. If I remember. Yeah. Hi, Ahmad. So I think that was what it was anyway. Like, it wasn't actually a. Yeah, he wasn't actually a Indian, basically. Because I kind of just like saw, I was like, this guy doesn't really look Indian. I don't know. Thank you for the follow, Monica. Like, but yeah, it's like more of like Middle Eastern kind of look. It kind of reminds me, you've got, what is it called? Isn't the guy that Sacha Baron Cohen? I mean, he plays like a Persian guy or something, if I remember. Here is cooked, and I've heard about Iran's really got some shit going on, and there's some kind of uprising or something going on over there. I've heard it's really messed. Look, Kushim, is it something to do with like the economy or what's going on? Maybe you can fill me in on that. Hi, Druva. How you doing? Hope you're well. I don't know. It's just this whole divide with religion and stuff. I just feel like at this point, a lot of it's just kind of a manufactured thing. I mean, who benefits from war at the end of the day? It's like there's, a lot of it comes down to like, whether it's the government or whether it's the, weapons manufacturers or whatever. But it's like there's people up at the top who benefit from this stuff, like there was actually I think there was something that System of a Down. It was something like, why did the um, something about why do the poor fight the wars? Why don't the rich fight the war, or why don't the politicians fight the war? Why do they always send the poor? I think it was something like that. It was so it's about basically like how they're using the poor as like a kind of collateral damage, basically. Why don't they go out and fucking fight? Why they send their fucking people to do it? Oh, you should fight for your country and all this bullshit. It's like that's what they'll just kind of tell them. But really they're fighting for their government and all these corrupt interests. They'll just try and brainwash the people that it's in their interest to fight when really it's, yeah, anyway. Hello, Louis. How you doing? So WW3 glomming, what do you mean? What are you saying? 14,000 plus died. How's it? How's that happened? American Swede, hello. Yeah, I can do a Cockney accent, all right. How's it going, Governor? My old China. Hello, PS3 2008. Was welcome in. What are you saying? What do you mean? Anyway, I hope you're all having a good day today. What's going on with the TikTok's gone a bit quiet. Anyway, seems like when one goes quiet, the other one goes busier. I don't know, and vice versa. Anyway, is everybody all right today then? But I don't know, this whole kind of thing of wars and stuff. I just don't support any of it. I don't like how people are getting innocent people are getting kind of bombed and stuff like that. Whatever like the political shit is, I don't care. Like, I mean, it's just innocent people should not be getting unalived. Hello, Prega Zoreo. Okay, all right. I don't know. It's just yeah. I don't know, guys. I just don't like. I just don't like wars. I don't like conflicts, really. Hello, one person edits. Welcome back. How you doing? Yeah, I just had to restart because there was just hardly anyone coming in on the YouTube thing, so I thought I'd restart. I'm from Dubai. We have started deporting. Oh, really? I mean, maybe we should just not say that in here. Anyway, real talks. How you doing? Why do we hit the remote? What are you saying? What are you saying? Why do we hit the remote harder when the batteries are dying? Like it's going to respond to violence. What are you trying to say? You're saying about like when the threat is dying, but you still try and kind of you know be the aggressor kind of thing. Is that what you're saying? I don't know what really. I don't fully know what's going on with everything, but it's just I just don't really pay attention to wars and shit like that because I don't want that in my consciousness. I don't want to be filling it up with just negativity. I mean, I see enough negativity on a day-to-day basis, really just anyway. But I hope everyone's having a good day so far. Share this out if you can, please. That would be really appreciated. But yeah, it's just there's a lot of chaos going on with yeah politics and stuff all over the world. You've got stuff going on in Iran. You've got the stuff in Middle East, and you had the Russia Ukraine thing, and it's just I just don't like it. It's just I don't want to be focusing my energy on that kind of stuff. Hello to you, Bell. Is her destiny? No, yeah, dynasty. Yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah, dynasty. How you doing? You okay? Hope you're well today. Welcome to my live. I don't know, Prego Zoria. I don't know. I don't really like to pick favorites with people, But anyway, hope everyone's having a good day. I'm okay. That's good to hear. Hi, Amy Kent. Hi, Mutuna. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hi, Nathan. Hello again, my friend from somewhere in the UK. All right, welcome back, Nathan. Good to see you again. Oh, we're picking up a bit in here. That's good. Yeah. So I don't know. I just feel like they're trying to like get us focused on war, and like I don't feel like that's good for my mind if I'm just constantly looking at what's going on in a certain country. It's like I don't know. I don't know. It's like people talk about World War III and all that. I don't want to really be like. I think we all just need to kind of probably turn off our TVs. Really, I don't even have a TV. I don't want to watch that stuff. It's all negative for the most part. I don't want to watch the news. I don't want to. I just don't want any of that in my consciousness. What am I up to today? Not a lot, really. I went to the gym last night, and I got some good numbers on some stuff. I was hammer curling 20 kilograms. I find hammer curls easier than the other way for some reason, though. I don't know why, but for some reason, I don't know, hammer curl just feels, I think it's because it's a more natural grip. Whereas when you supinate, it's kind of like in a more stressed position or something. What's up with America trying to occupy Greenland? I don't know. I've heard that Trump stuff, and I just haven't really got much to say about that. I just like to do my impressions and just be like, try to make fun of it. But I know it could be a serious thing. But yeah. Um. Anyway, hi Sindo, how you doing today? I hope you're well. If anybody's new here, please can you give me a follow? That would be really appreciated. Where are you at in the UK? I'm in York. Yeah, I'm in York, England. Okay, so I don't know, guys. Let's just keep the chat flowing, everybody. We've got about 9 people on YouTube right now, so yeah. Is Ron Wood still on D Live? Yeah, hammers are easy to add weight to as they work more in line with gravity as the weight isn't so spread by fine somehow. Even so, they uniquely stress the muscle, which makes sense as it's different heads. Yeah, you work in the brachialis, more in the brachioradialis. So you're saying that's why. I thought it was more just down to the because when you twist your arm to do the other kind of curls, is that um, they're actually just in a more kind of, it stresses it. Like some people find chin ups a bit hard for that reason versus neutral grip pull ups. I find neutral grip pull ups are just maybe the easiest one to do actually. I don't know if anyone feels like that, but yeah, I actually can kind of do neutral grip pull ups a bit better. I don't know. News is all negativity driven because fear attract the masses. They sprinkle fragments of random positive segments, but it's usually strange as it's so different from the normality of fear. Yeah. It's like 80-90% negativity. Although Mish, it's just depressing, isn't it, really? Hi, Mish from Alaska. Nice to meet you. How are you doing? Hope you're well today. It's all just depressing and like, yeah, it's just sad. It's I don't want to see all that kind of stuff. I don't want that in my consciousness. Yeah, I agree. For me, I can do chin ups non-stop and regularly do challenges with my mates, but pull ups are so effing hard. I was saying neutral grip pull ups are probably easier than both of them. I don't know. That's what I found. Thank you for the follow, JD, because because naturally our arms are in a neutral position, whereas to do a chin up, you have to twist, or if you're doing a pull up, it's like they're not in a natural position, so it's not as mechanically advantageous or something. But some might say if you've got strong biceps, then chin ups might be easier because you're able to get your bicep into a more advantageous position to be able to work that. So yeah, if you've got strong biceps, then a bicep, then the chin up can be a little bit easier in some cases. But yeah, do I believe in ghosts? Not really. I'm just a bit skeptical of all these kind of things because I don't know. Unless I've seen it, then I don't believe it, kind of thing. Like I need to see something to believe it, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Latest news: someone on the live, people and a guy burnt a house. But in other news, little Susie learned how to bake cookies. Yeah, that's what they do, isn't it, on the news? You know? Yeah, for me, my like lats just aren't strong enough. But chin ups, I just can rep out for effing hours. It's mad. Yeah, so maybe it's something to work on. Is more, I guess, lat isolated movements, I suppose. Um, stuff that would work your lats more in an isolated way. So I'm not exactly sure like what would be best for that, but I would say like um I mean I guess like pull-ups would be better for lats. You know, you're gonna be working them more with that. It's not total isolation, but yeah, you're gonna have more emphasis on that with regular ones. But yeah. Anyway, I hope everyone's well. It's gone a bit quiet, so try and share the live out if you can. Try and get some more people in here. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but I thought it was picking up a bit, and then it just seems to have slowed down again. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, but yeah, so thank you for follow Shay41. How you doing? You okay? Welcome in here. Nice to meet you. But yeah, that's the thing. It's like I'm not really good at any of them, to be honest, but that's just me, you know. So taller people tend to suck more at calisthenic stuff. That's just the harsh reality of it. I'm doing fine, thank you, Shay. How are you doing? Like even push-ups are a bit harder for like taller people as well. It's the longer limbs and stuff, you know, you're carrying more weight as well when you're taller. So you're having to like it's going to take a lot longer to get to the same level, basically. I mean, there is some tall people that have managed to get to a decent level, but it's unusual that you get someone that's say above 6'2", 6'3", that can do really good with calisthenics. Yeah, you get some people like 6 foot. I've seen like I think at Fitness FAQs is like 6 foot, and he's pretty good with calisthenics. I think I saw him do like straddle planche and stuff like that, which is quite an advanced movement to say the least. And he also does a lot of like leg stuff. So it's like if you was like I'm guessing like if you were a tall guy and you didn't train legs at all, you could probably get quite good at calisthenics. It's just that when it comes to like hello cheeky, I don't know. I mean, I don't vote for any parties. Yeah, for me, my lats just aren't strong enough. But chin-ups, yeah, just read that one out already. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, just calisthenics is the struggle is real for tall people, isn't it? Like but if you was to just do upper body calisthenics, if you're a tall guy, then you can probably do quite well with that actually. Because you can probably build more muscle and actually get really strong with it. But if you're actually building quite strong legs as well, that can actually hinder upper body calisthenics even more if you're taller, because you have longer legs, which then if you're adding more muscle, like that even adds even more difficulty to it. So for like taller guys, if you want to do upper body calisthenics, then you might not want to train legs too much, because that's going to get in the way even more. Because if your legs are like twice as long as say some short guy, then you're going to be adding twice as much muscle when you're training them, which is just adding even more dead weight to them. Because a lot of times the muscles in your legs do not, you know, add to the force production of a certain movement and actually hinder it by adding, more weight. So if you understand what I'm saying, what you're saying, Aman Vish Wakarma, how you doing? Hope you well. It's like even just adding, say, like an extra 20 pounds to your body weight can really make a big difference when it comes to how much reps you could do on a certain exercise and stuff like that. Um, oh, really? And yeah. Anyway, yeah, I hope everyone's doing well today. Anyway, if anyone's new here, please subscribe to the channel. That would be really appreciated. So it looks like it's a bit quieter today. So yeah, just have to see how it how we get on, really. Hi, Emily. How you doing? So it's not like that it's an excuse or anything. It's just that with taller people, it's probably going to take longer. Like I said, especially if you're training legs as well. But if you don't train legs, if you're taller, you might actually be able to do quite well with calisthenics. It's just that, yeah, long legs can really sort of yeah, be a hindrance for a lot of people. But I train legs just as much as I'm training upper body. Like, I don't have chicken legs. I don't want to have chicken legs. That's for sure. But a lot of these calisthenics people, they have chicken legs, unless they're doing leg-based calisthenics as well, like pistol squats and stuff like that. Hello, Turbo Munch. Well, you can just go away then, you know? I mean, they're obviously just kind of, you know, probably just projecting, aren't they? As I say, I look like I've never lifted in my life. I mean, are you blind or something? I mean, yeah, you should see what I looked like before this, you know? I put on a massive amount of size. Thank you for the likes, Claire. But yeah, all these people that want to say these kind of things, it's like, well, what do they look like, you know? They probably wouldn't actually show what they look like because they'd probably be too embarrassed to, you know? I bet. Usually it says more about them, doesn't it, when they say these sort of things? You know what I mean? Yeah, anyway. Hope everyone's well. I thought Emily was stopping by for a chat or something, I don't know. Anyway, well, yeah, is anyone still over on YouTube? Are you there? Okay. Oh, no, so sometimes people will scroll past me and not even stop by. Thank you for the lights, Claire. How you doing, Claire? You okay? Can I ask you about last night? What about last night? I was at the gym last night. Why? What about last night? That woman really had it. The one earlier. I don't know what the fuck. There's some really like, crazy people online. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I just something about you report. I mean, it's all bullshit. You know, it's just all a bunch of trolls and stuff. You know, they're just trying to like shit stir. Good for you if it's true, lol. Well, apparently she's not a very good person, is what they were saying. But I don't know. Muffins, C man, how you doing? It's like I don't know. There's people just trying to shit stir or something. I don't know. Thank you for the heart me, Claire. Hope you're well today, everyone. I don't know. It seems a bit slow at the moment, so I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's just one of those days or something. Claire says it's okay. All right. Yeah, where are you from, by the way? Anyway. Hi, it's Fresh Prince. How you doing? Hope you're well. Yeah, some people just want to cause chaos, I think. Hello, Maville. How you doing? So I was at the gym last night. Yeah, I think you was probably in bed by then, Emily, because it was a really late one. Like it was almost midnight when I got there. Thank you for the follow, Maville. It was nearly 1 o'clock when I got out of there. So because I was busy like getting some free food off Olio, so I just did that and went to the gym afterwards. Um, Worcestershire. Oh yeah, home of Worcestershire sauce. Yeah, I'm all right, thank you. I'm in New York. He was in bed at 8 watching The Good Doctor. Oh really? Oh cool. Well, but that's good to hear. Fresh Prince of Bellend. Anyway, yeah, we okay today, everybody. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, someone was in the chat saying, "Oh, you look like you've not lifted in your life." Probably just, you know, I mean, have they lifted? Like anyone who's actually lifted would not say that, you know, because they say like hate comes from below, not above. So for someone to leave like negative comments, usually comes from people who are either jealous or envious, or maybe they're just miserable and projecting their own misery and insecurities and stuff. So yeah, anyway, but hope everyone's having a good day. Yeah, I don't know, guys. It's just draining sometimes. Oh, okay, Andy. Okay, yeah. Yeah, my voice is deeper than the Mariana Trench. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, I can't really help that. I could be like talking in a high pitch all the time, and that wouldn't be very I don't know, just but yeah, we all right, everyone. It's a bit slow in here at the moment. Hello, JVKE Miller. Your life is shite, but thanks, bro. Hello, real Sad Rashid. How you doing? You okay? Why is your life shite? Is it Jake then? I do be. The cat goes meow. The cow goes moo. Oh god. Here we go. What is it with these comments say? Uh, um, but Jake, yeah, Jake. I'll call you Jake then. Why don't you use the A as something? Pezzy. Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. Um, yeah, did you all see my shorts that I put out? Did I tell you, Emily, that TikTok wouldn't allow one of my shorts out? It was one that I put out on YouTube, but they let it out. But then, all right, well, I wouldn't really kind of worry too much about that. Just try and like Jake, I would just say like, if you're 5'4", I'm sure like you know there's some woman who's like 5 foot tall who will take you. I mean, and I don't know. I just think people put a bit too much kind of like, oh, hang on, I'm only joking. What you joking? I don't. Hello, Aniket, Josh. How you doing? Yeah, TikTok is very censor heavy to say the least. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it wouldn't get banned off YouTube, but it's like that video wasn't even offensive or anything. It was literally just me doing an impression of Andrew Tate. Is it because Andrew Tate's been banned off the platform? So anything associated with him would get banned? Like, I don't get it. I mean, just because someone's been banned off, like, does that mean that if you make some kind of reference to that person or something, that content should get? It's just ridiculous. I mean, God, I don't get it. It just feels like, I don't know, we're in some Orwellian kind of, hello, Daisy England. Who's a loser? If you had to give me one life advice as a big brother, what would it be? I don't know. Just I think like patience is a virtue, and you know, delay gratification or something. I feel bad for Andrew. Yeah, is an asshole, but I think he only did those stuff for the views and really don't act the way he did online. I don't know. I mean, I just feel like he's a deeply insecure guy who he try and has this kind of ego about him, but I think deep down he's actually quite you know, yeah, maybe they banned everything to do with that name. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. but yeah, with Andrew Tate, I mean, it's like yeah. The thing is that he was going on about never losing and all that, and then he lost, and then he come up with excuses as to why he lost. That is just that's somebody that doesn't take any accountability or anything, you know. Like, I mean, it's like you've got to just own it. If you've lost, own it. But the thing is, though, if he did that, then his whole kind of mantra about never losing would fall apart. You see, he's like, "Oh, maybe the universe had a different plan for me." I'll just get my tape glasses, so I can do the tape impression or something. Yeah. This is like what he was saying, apparently. So maybe they didn't want me to win. Maybe they wanted me to lose, so that the guy didn't have to lose because he couldn't handle it. Maybe the universe wanted to give him a chance of winning against Top G, so he could feel good. Because it didn't make any sense. I should have won that. Because I'm Top G. I have lots of training there, and he ain't a good fighter either. There's a comment. Hello, Jim. There's a moment where those two females came and said, "The hell," and Andrew stopped them and he told them to not watch his content. Oh, really? Why? Why did? Why did he say that? Why would he be promoting content to 15-year-olds, but then saying don't watch my content? That doesn't make sense. I don't know. But wasn't he like promoting like crypto pump and dump or something like that? I mean, I don't know. It's just I don't trust any of those kind of people. Oh, thank you, Slim Jim. Yeah, if anyone's new, please can you subscribe to me, like something. Um. Anyway, I just don't trust all these like. I just see them all as like these fake, gurus and all that kind of stuff. I just would probably lump him as one of those type of people. I mean, he's one of those people that Coffeezilla is kind of exposed in the past as like if you've been on a Coffeezilla video, then it's not looking good for you, is it really? But sometimes somehow certain people can still seem to come out of it unscathed. Like look what happened with like people like Logan Paul, for example. It's like they can get involved in a whole bunch of controversies and then they still get all these fans watching them. Same with like Mr. Beast and all that, because they appeal to very young, juvenile people who haven't got a clue about any of that stuff. So it almost kind of gives them some like immunity against it. Yeah, that's the point. It doesn't. But looking back, he isn't really that bad. That's just my opinion. What you're saying about Andrew Tate or something. I just don't agree with the whole kind of philosophy that he has and the whole thing of, basically like work 25 hours a day, 8 days a week and all that. I mean, it's just not realistic. I mean, yeah, maybe he can do all that, but he shouldn't be trying to promote it like everyone should be doing that. Not everyone wants to or can do that. It's just not realistic. So that's my problem with him. And then he's trying to sell people bullshit, and most people don't even benefit and end up losing money over it. And he knows this shit. If you look at the statistics on that Hustlers University bullshit, it's a joke. I mean, it's really is. Like, so many people have been hoodwinked by his bullshit marketing. Okay, Vimto. Right. Yeah, I don't know. How we doing? Is anyone still there on here? It's gone quiet now. I don't know what's going on, but hello, Shave from Navajo Nation. Welcome in here. How are you? Okay, thank you. So yeah, just it's just pathetic when you see them trying to make excuses and stuff. Like that's not a real man to me. But that's what happens when you've been a 4 mile run. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's just you shouldn't be like kind of. I think this is a problem when you have a certain kind of philosophy of never losing, but then you lose kind of thing. It's like you can't just say, "Oh, I'll never." If you do this, if you put everything into it, you'll never lose because there's other people that are, going to be competing with you, and sometimes you're just not going to come out on top. Unfortunately, that's just how it goes sometimes. It's freezing. Oh yeah, I bet it's been cold lately, hasn't it? Hello, Dakio. No, I'm English. No, I'm English. What about you? Hi, Deepak Chopra. I'm doing fine, thank you. How are you doing? Welcome to my live. Hope everyone's well today. If anyone's new, please can you subscribe, follow, all that good stuff? That would be great if you can do that. Hello, Pork Chop. What's the difference between a Corvette and a cactus? Yeah, 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 yeah. Huh. Hello, Ben. Good to see you again. How are you doing? I remember we were talking about monogamy and some other stuff yesterday. Yeah, monogamy versus polygamy and all that kind of stuff. Hang on a sec. Why are we saying that? I need to just hang on. I can't have that in the chat, guys. Hello, Coca-Cola. Okay, can we just like stop with the language in the chat, please? It's a bit, it's a bit much, guys. I'm gonna have to just like delete some comments because we can't have this kind of stuff in here, guys. Come on, guys. I thought Ben was actually serious or something. Hang on, it's not showing up. I think. Yeah, it might be automatically filtering it or something. Some stuff might be getting automatically filtered. I don't know. It's not showing up on the actual chat or something. Hang on a second. Yeah, just hang on a sec. Is it filtering it out or something? I don't know. Certain things might be getting filtered. I don't know. Yes, I have been out of the UK. Why? Yeah, I've been to France and Spain before. What about you? Looking good, mate. Okay, thank you, Brett. How you doing, Brett? Good day, mate. Brett from Sydney. Another shrimp on the barbie. Hello, Data Fusion. I'm doing fine, thank you. How you doing? King Vortex, how you doing? Yes, I'm Tommy Fury, yeah. Yes, I am. Yeah. Sorry, bro, I'm serious. I just said that word for a laugh. Okay, I don't know. It's just we've got to be careful what we're saying online, that's all. I don't want it to affect my channel and stuff. Hello, Floyd. How you doing? Floyd Mayweather. Welcome in here. Nice to meet you all. Welcome in. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. That would be really great if you can do that. So, yeah. Bot Shot says, I'm from the US, but I've been to Ireland and Canada. Oh, yeah. So, whereabouts in Ireland and Canada did you go to? I'm from Canada, eh? We talk like this, eh? It's like, oh, it's so nice to meet you, eh? You want to have some maple syrup, eh? Thank you for the follow, Brett. That's awesome, eh? They just say, eh? Just, hello, Matteo. How you doing? Hope you're well today. Oh, picking up again. That's good. Yeah, it seemed to be a bit kind of slow, but it seems like there's a few more people coming in now, so we'll see how this goes, really. But yeah, well, just having like different conversations, just different topics and stuff. So that's what I like to do. Try and keep it a bit open with different topics and stuff. What do you call three guys that wall into a bar? What do you mean? Wall into a bar? What are you saying? I don't know. 11 p.m. here. Oh yeah, I bet because it's like, hang on, 11 p.m. How is it 11? That's 11 hours ahead of us. I didn't think you was 11 hours. I thought it was 10 hours ahead. I guess it depends on the what with the clocks and stuff. Sometimes the clocks go forward, sometimes they go back. I wish they'd probably just stop doing that stuff. Hello Jam. The channel's just like we like to talk different things, and whether that's kind of to do with self improvement and different things related to that, like exercise, fitness, as well as health, whether that's be, what I mean. I'm from the UK, Farida, but sometimes I like to just have fun and just have a laugh, but it just depends. We just kind of see where things go, really. I don't usually have a set agenda with it, really. I just kind of like to free ball and whatever and just, hello, Luna. Luna. Oh, nice to meet you. Oh, God. No, I'm not gonna say these things, because I just don't want to be part of some kind of, cult kind of thing, like where people say these words, like, you know, they say these, things that are just like, I don't know. It's like there was that whole BLM thing, which just to me just caused a lot of division, and because what it does is it just kind of suggests that your other lives don't matter. So what I'm saying is that a lot of these words I feel like are kind of like divisive, and I'm just yeah. Hello, Acton man. I just read that 12K British nationals were arrested in 2023 for posting online content outrageous. I know. The thing is, right? They're going about having a massive backlog of um of all the like the court cases and all that, and they're saying, "Oh, we're going to get rid of jury for like short sentences and stuff." And I'm thinking, what the hell? So it's just another way of taking away people's rights or something along this. Because I think jury is quite an important thing because there's less likely to be biases there because judges can oftentimes have certain political biases and things like that, which I'm not saying they don't matter to me. I'm saying that all lives matter. That's what I say. Cults left, right, and center. Humans love group identity. And that's the thing is they want us all to try and kind of, pick a side. You gotta pick a side and all that. But it's like I just refuse to conform and be part of some kind of cult mentality. You know, judges are muppets for the most part. Yeah, yeah. No, they're just. And how many of them are being bribed? You don't know if, like, sometimes they could be being bribed by, you know, hi, Heinz Beans. Oh, here we go. Heinz Beans. Heinz means beans. Remember that advert? Heinz means beans. And there was like 57 varieties one as well. I remember I used to go past one near Wigan. There was like a Heinz factory and it said 57 on it. Yeah, yeah. Not 67, 57. Any of you out there that are like 6, 7. Yeah, yeah. Oh goodness. I can't believe that meme hasn't died by now. It's just like people are still saying that stuff. 6, 7. It's like do one. If I've had a pound for every time I heard that, I'd be probably a millionaire by now. Heinz Beans, the Chief Wiggum Simpsons episode. I don't think I've seen that. I've not seen that many Simpsons episodes, but I've seen some of them. Yeah. Yeah, Simpsons, it was quite funny at times, like the name pranks. Like, with Bart Simpson, like phoning up most is like pretending to be like, what is it called, Mike Roch or something. Also, they couldn't do the Mike Hunt because that was a more kind of vulgar one or something. Because obviously it was a family show, but hey, you like Foo Fighters, is it? Yeah, they've got some good songs, yeah. 57, 57, 57 varieties at Heinz Group Ltd. Oh, yeah. Yeah, anyway, welcome in here, everybody. Hope you're all having a good day. Share the live out if you can. That would be really appreciated. But yeah, I don't know. What you all want to talk about then? I'm just kind of like seeing, kind of what people want to talk about. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Have a drink. I don't know. I've not really got anything planned, so yeah. So it just can be a bit awkward sometimes because I'm like feeling like I have to try and constantly come up with stuff, and then when it goes quiet, I'm feeling like, oh, people are just gonna get bored, and it's just I don't know. I don't know, guys. Sometimes I overthink it. That's my problem. Sometimes it is what it is. That's just how I am sometimes. But anyway, are we all right, people? Hope everyone's well. Gone a bit quiet, so let's just go into the watch page, see if there's anything there. MC, how you doing? Hope all is well. Yeah, just still on the Heinz. Hang on. Ben says, anyone interested in the metaphysics of the teachings of Jesus? Not a Bible thumper, but it's very interesting what the story of Jesus is about. Okay, maybe you can talk about can you talk about that in here or something? Something like, mate, you're actually not too bad being in a few times. Yeah, I've seen you a few times. Yeah, the Heinz Beans guy. Yeah, I can't forget you, can I? Yeah, the Heinz Beans guy. I love Heinz beans. They're so good. Refried beans, we call them in America. They're very tasty. The tomato ketchup, it really tastes great. The uh, teaching us to do inner work, and that you can read the Bible literally or read it in a way where every aspect of the stories are representing different aspects of our mind. Yeah, it's like you talk. Well, I've heard about like Christ consciousness and all that kind of stuff, like the and things like when there's certain things like I don't know. I hear a lot of these sort of people talk about things like ego death, but the thing is that I don't really believe in stuff like that because the ego is something I think is an important part of being human. Because without an ego, there's no kind of like reason to really kind of continue. You need to have a sense of importance and self worth as a reason to get out of bed in the morning. I would say, like, if I didn't think I was worth anything and was important at all, then I wouldn't even bother. So, hello, Floyd. I'm not too bad, thank you. How are you? So I think the whole ego death thing is like, unless it's just about kind of like a temporary kind of, I don't know, getting out of your ego. I don't know, but I think there's a lot of people that talk about the ego like it's a bad thing, but I would say that it's only when the ego is delusional, and yeah, that's where it gets bad. I think it's just there's this kind of like black and white thinking with a lot of people where it's like the ego is bad, but it's like there's nuance to everything, is what I've realized. Like we can't just throw out blanket statements like the ego is bad or something like that because um but I don't know, it's so what you're saying, it's about rebirth rather than actually actually hello Coke flavor. Okay. What's this? Controlling the ego instead of letting it control us. The ego does weird stuff to keep us in a certain mindset. I agree. We've got to be able to, you know, kind of ascend past that, haven't we? I know what we're saying. I'm a Protestant, so we take the facts, stories of monsters, and that we don't romanticize the faith. Okay. Um, Hi, INFJ, how you doing? Cox says my ego is okay. Just read that one. I've just been busy attempting to upload to my channel and constantly failing because I lack motivation. Yeah, so like you gotta think about what it is you want out of the channel. Like, what is it that you want to achieve with it all? Because you need to have like a why, and it can't just be that, oh, I just want to like be successful with it, because I think there has to be a bigger reason for it in terms of, hello, Pavlov, how you doing? Like it might be to help others or something like that. It might be thinking about, if I can do something that's, providing some kind of value to others, maybe that can help you with the motivation. Because a lot of people just, they have the wrong motivations and it's not enough of a motivation. Now, it's good to have motivations by wanting to be successful and all that, but then you also want to have motivations like greater than yourself. And yeah, you've forgotten far more important people than me. What are you saying? What the hell? We have negative aspects a part of our identity, so we must destroy the ego temporarily to reset what we are. We all have. Hello from Indonesia. How you doing? Make sure you follow if you're new. Right, we all have negative aspects from learned behaviors from childhood that we need to break. Yeah, it's like traumas and things like that, or whatever it might just be from like an impressionable age when we. Thank you for the follow. Anyway, so if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. So break it down before we can rebuild it in the way we want it to be, not just how it is formed from childhood unconsciously. Yeah, definitely. Well, this is where shadow work comes in, I think, isn't it? Where we get to understand why it is that we act the way we do, and doing things like kind of reflecting on certain things from the past and trying to move on. What country do I live in? I live in the UK. What about you? It's about reflecting and being able to sort of let go of whatever is kind of holding you back. Maybe for some people it was that they got bullied in school or something like that, and that led them to doubt themselves, led them to a lot of but a lot of this would be about improving your self image and um your self concept, or whatever you want to call it. It's the because we can sort of have our self image kind of from like external sort of influences, or we can sort of create our own image of ourselves and sort of like overwrite that image that was kind of yeah. So for example, if you were bullied because of certain things, then like for example I mean then you what I mean there's certain things that we can't maybe do anything about. For example, if you might have a certain complexion or something that you got bullied for, maybe you had freckles or something like that. But there's not a whole lot you can really do about that. But then it's more about kind of um, changing how you perceive yourself and learning to embrace whatever it is that you have, that and realizing that that wasn't a flaw of you. It's just the people who made you feel like that were probably dealing with something themselves that they're trying to project onto you. So anyway, hello, truly Jay, how you doing? Um, so anyway, yeah. For instance, I am a McFarlane. We have. Hang on a second. Bear with me. I truly Jay. What kind of concept? We talk a lot about mental health, physical health, etc. Hang on. Right. I remember McFarlane. We have our ruined castle to Scottish Gov. Inveruglas Castle is in Loch Lomond. 790-year-old castle was destroyed by Cromwell in 1643. We have let Gov use it as a park now. Right, what are you saying that in regards to, like, sorry, I'm kind of lost, like, what you was trying to, like, get at with that, but maybe it was some other comment that you said before that. Anyway, so what we're saying, so it's yeah, we actually don't have a self-image as such. We just sort of carry around this blurry mental photograph of ourselves that keeps changing like a Snapchat filter you don't ask for. Sometimes we see ourselves as clever, sometimes as terrible, sometimes as slightly dumb. Not others people's opinions of us are just like turning the brightness up or down on that photo, except they can't actually touch it, which is nice. Well, I don't know about that. We can change the photo if we do shadow work. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. We've got to sort of empower ourselves with, like, we can change the self-image of, like, if we can, heal whatever the traumas or whatever it is that we have in us. It's just sometimes people can struggle to say, like, something external happens, like maybe they get bullied again or something. Maybe in adulthood they then keep getting reminded of that, but you have to try to sort of reprogram with, like, subconsciously, and I suppose meditation can help some people and um, get out of their head, I suppose, and just kind of in a more grounded state, and just to reprogram to just to affirm that you are perfect, or not perfect, but you are enough as you are, and that you are good enough as you are, and that there's nothing wrong with you. So that's what some people would do, but there's different ways of dealing with it. But hello, David, how are you doing? Hope you well. Different triggers make the same escapism come back. Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? That's what I mean. Like, sometimes certain things can remind you of that, and some people even get flashbacks if they've got traumas and stuff, and it's serious shit. It's just, but there's some people who will try and trivialize kind of things like that. They'll be like, oh, trauma doesn't exist, or oh, depression doesn't exist. It's like, it's easy for them to say that, because if they've never experienced that, then it's just some people just seem to be like the empathy of anybody else to actually. Hello, some dude, how you doing? There's some people just lack the empathy to be able to, you know, it's just like, just because you haven't experienced something, like, doesn't mean that you should just be like dismissive and be like, oh well, it doesn't exist. Mental health doesn't exist. It's like we had someone saying ADHD doesn't exist. Well, unless you actually have it, then you wouldn't know, like, what it feels like. You know, it's just some people are just very dismissive, and I don't know. Sometimes people are just trolls, but as in, like, but there is actual people in reality. Even say things like autism doesn't exist. I mean, I think that there is like a kind of, I mean, as in like sometimes people play on things. I do agree that sometimes people do play on certain issues. Like people play on things like BPD, for example, and stuff like that. But it doesn't mean that mental health doesn't exist. You know, like there's a lot of people in this world that have some form of mental health or have dealt with some form of mental health in the past. Yeah, my immediate family members are five tier haters, major. What do you mean? What you mean? S tier haters? Oh, really? Yeah, that's shit, isn't it? Yeah, sometimes your own family is, the worst in some cases. Sometimes people's family are preying on their downfall, which is just really like wrong, isn't it? Your family is supposed to be the ones that are loyal, through and through and all that. They're supposed to be there for you, like through and through. That they're supposed to be you know, there to kind of like catch you when you fall and all that. But sometimes they even want you to fall. So you got to think yourself lucky if you've got family who actually do support you, because in a lot of cases they won't. I'm a tiny doll, or really. It's like in a lot of cases, family will be, like, yeah. Anyway, Lego, hello. Okay, all right. Yeah, I hope everyone's doing well today. Welcome to my live. Tiki says Richard Tice, the Reform MP, doesn't believe in autism, which is a bit like being a doctor who doesn't believe in feet or a pilot who doesn't believe in air. I know, it's just, to say something like that is a bit dismissive. Like, there is people that legitimately have problems. Like, there's literally some autistic people can't even speak. Thank you for the likes, Albert. I mean, what they're going to do about that? They're going to just blame that on bad parenting or something. I do think that though that sometimes bad parenting does exacerbate certain symptoms of things. We're just talking a bit about the mental health stuff at the moment, but my sons are both autistic, but to be honest, would never change them for nothing. They're both crackers, and to be honest, they are way smarter than me. That's then only type my misses in mental health. What you mean? So like, yeah, there is some benefits to it as well, but hello, I'm Pig. Oh, here we go. What is going on? We're getting trolls again. So, okay. Right. So, like, yeah, just, yeah. So to say that it's, that it doesn't exist or something, it's just ridiculous. It's like saying the sky isn't blue or something, I mean, there's certain things that we should just accept as reality now that we've pretty much proven that it does exist. I mean, yeah, I know there's no like, you could say, well, there's no DNA test for autism. Well, it's like we can look at brain scans and see that certain areas are more, active than others, kind of thing. And I mean, and hello, beeswax. How you doing? What's Oh yeah, I've heard of pyromania. That's when you're like something to do with fire and something really being like, yeah, like having a real like obsession with it or something. Yeah, troll bro, I'm the nice troll in your channel. Well, that's good then. Humans are very difficult to deal with. I don't hang on a second. Hello, some dude. Right, just hang on a second. Right, let me just go back in the chat a second. Um, Humans are very difficult to deal with. I don't think we should romanticize interactions as everyone can be rude. Right. I mean, yeah. Yeah, that's right. I mean, counselor in school said I wouldn't pay attention in class, and my dad put me on experimental drug trials at age 7. Needless to say, he's a demon. Yeah, I've heard some of that stuff can be really bad. Like you get these things like Adderall and stuff like that, and I've heard a lot of side effects and stuff. My missus' ex-son was borderline R word, it, and the doctor used to say there's nothing wrong with him, but then still prescribing him pregabalin. Right? Why would they say there's nothing wrong with him and then prescribe them something? That doesn't make sense. Actually, thinking we'll all sink soon in England, not because of climate change or the sea, but because of politicians. Oh yeah, like as in like a not a literal sinking, but more just in terms of like about things like the economy and stuff like that. Or what do you mean? Um, Hi Sherbo, good to see you. How are you doing? Hope you well. Welcome to the live. Everyone okay? Welcome in here, everyone. I don't know what's going on with the TikTok live. Might have to restart it, guys. It's a bit slow. I don't know. There's not much going on, so I'm gonna have to start a new one. Right. So yeah. Yeah. Anyway, what's that? Floyd says, I remember being homeless for a while. It was fairly uncomfortable, I bet. Yeah. Those ab workouts been good. What's the ab workout? I was on about like crunches and stuff, but I mean, there's a whole bunch of different type of workouts for your abs, but yeah, everyone's got their own like ones. But I would say like, what is it called? Anti-extension workouts. So there's a thing called an ab wheel rollout. That's meant to be really good for your abs because it trains more functional ab movements, like as in not movements, but as in like more functional ab like stability and control. Whereas doing a bunch of crunches is more just good for like aesthetics. But some argue that you should probably incorporate some more. But I think even just trying to like engage the core during the exercises like push-ups is good because if you try to keep you know, you keep a straight line on your back, like you don't let your back arch. You try and keep everything in a straight line, basically. So climate change. I mean, I don't fully agree. I mean, I think that there's certain things like geoengineering and stuff like that. Hello, Jackma. Do I get a lot of girls? Not really. Hello, I'm Mayo. What is going on here with the stupid comments and stuff? Anyway, I mean, I think that climate does seem to have changed, to be honest. I mean, like, it does seem a bit different. I don't know. I mean, you might disagree with that, but thank you for the likes, New. How you doing today, everybody? Hope you're all well. But like a lot of people are talking about in recent years, the weather seems different. Like there's a lot more extreme weather, weird weather going on, and I don't know. There's something changed about it. But in terms of whether it's CO2 emissions and all that, I mean that's what like the narrative is. But I've heard that it's not probably not going to make that big of a difference to the actual climate. But last year the weather was kind of strange to me, like a lot more sun than we normally have, and like even from about March, it was yeah. Hello, Rusty. How you doing? Hope you well. Yeah, good to see you all here. The climate change agenda is that the Earth is heating up from CO2 emissions. The extreme weather is controlled by governments. I think there's some truth to that. And like, for example, you've got places like Dubai and stuff like that where they've artificially made it rain there. And the question is that something that can cause to change in other parts of the world as well, or is it just a local thing? Because some argue that changing it in one place might have a knock-on effect elsewhere, because they might then cause droughts in some other areas or something. Hi, Homer. Oh, here we go. What is going on? Right. So, like, this is the thing with like, when it's like you're playing God when you're artificially changing the weather. it's just very dodgy stuff to be doing, you know. You don't know what you're messing with when you're messing with nature, you know. So sometimes it's best to just leave it alone. Because even if in that moment it seems to be like, oh yeah, it's good to make it rain on Dubai, but then what if it causes a cataclysm elsewhere? You know, 97% of global CO2 emissions are from nature. While us humans contribute 3%. We hardly change it. Experiments show more CO2 the better. We are carbon based, being we are 20% carbon. Yeah. Anyway, so like yeah, that's the thing is that well they say how trees and stuff need carbon. Like trees have gotten a lot you know like bigger and whatever. They thrive off carbon or something. So that's the argument that we should have more carbon emissions or something. But then there's also a thing that even if we're to say that there is warming, some argue that there can be some benefits of warming as well. So okay, American, that you know because they always talk about if we're talking you know like the earth's warming up, well maybe there's some benefits of that as well, you know, like there's places in the world where they could maybe do to warm up a bit, you know. So like they're always talking about like the negatives of it all, but thank you for the follow clause. What if there's positives to warming as well, you know? They're always looking at everything as like a negative because that's what they do is that if they have some agenda they always try to kind of yeah try to spin it in a negative way. Thank you for following, Mary. Hello, Christopher. How you doing? How is the UK? It's just been a bit, I don't know. It's just kind of bleak at this time of year, really. Like, the weather's a bit meh. The weather's just kind of cold. But, I mean, it never gets really, really cold usually, but it can feel cold because of all the relative humidity of it. And, you know, that's the thing. Hi, Hyun. How you doing? I hope you're well. Good afternoon to you. Hope you're doing well today. Welcome into my live. Yeah. Hello, some dude. I'm in England. Why does so many people think that I'm from Scotland? What is that about, eh? I'm not from Scotland, I'm English. It's all a part of their agenda to burn down nature to build these smart cities, and then they can blame the climate change agenda when the truth is they are using weapons to start fires, LA wildfire. I mean, I've heard that theory actually. Hello, Hope Nicholas. How you doing? Some people saying that like the wildfires are being caused by directed energy weapons. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I think a lot of the fires are just a lot of it's just due to bad forest management. I was looking into that, you know, so basically, well, I wasn't really looking into it, but Kuti, Karen, how you doing? I hope you well. Make sure you follow if you're new here. That would be really appreciated. That basically, there's been a lot of dead wood that's just been kind of like what happens is that dead wood should be cleared so it isn't able to be like easily lit on fire. I think that's a big part of the problem with why there's so many fires in general. Um, yeah, northern accent. Yeah, I'm in York. The fires mess the trees and burn the houses down. Look into. I mean, I've seen some stuff that seemed a bit like it didn't make sense or something. Hello, Miss M. I'm from the UK. Where are you from? Yeah. Thank you for follow Tazita. How are you doing? Hope all is well. Welcome in here, everyone. Yeah. It's just I mean I've seen stuff on the fires and stuff. It's just I just think a lot of it is down to bad forest management. Maybe there is some like some of these more mainstream events that maybe some of that is like a weapon, but I think a lot of it is down to bad forest management, as in when like there's dead trees and stuff, like they should be cleared. Hello, Daniel. Oh, how you doing? They're not doing a lot enough to really kind of add wood or something because that's easy to set on fire. So yeah. Anyway, you're 100% correct. Not enough clearing of dead debris. Super flammable. Yeah, that's right. Um, they have to blow a huge load on. Oh God, what the hell is going on? Uh, God. Hello, Tons Joy. How you doing? Yeah, happy birthday, morning L. Says Ita, thank you for the likes. Hi, JMO. How you doing? So I think that we just should be like, yeah, we should obviously be caring about the planet and caring about, the environment and stuff like that. Hello, Empress. It's just when, thank you for the follow, when they're trying to tell people, oh, you should stop driving a car or something like that, and or you're polluting the environment and all that, you know, like the way that they try and shame people for like, oh, you're causing a catastrophe or something. It's just I don't like that. I don't like these protests where they're like blocking roads that are because I've heard in some cases they're blocking people from getting to somewhere where they need to be. Like these people just don't give a fuck. They're ideologically driven and don't actually care about the actual people that just need to maybe get somewhere. They're just so like in their own kind of like thing of, oh, we have a climate catastrophe. It's like, well, come on, like, surely there's better ways to like promote your cause than that. It's not exactly. Hello, Netteranzo, how you doing? People go into denial and block the truth out as a survival mechanism. Yeah, sometimes truth can be inconvenient, can't it? Like sometimes it can be. Yeah, just as I agree, the climate will change regardless of people. It's happened many times before. I mean, what do you think, Jester, about say like the geoengineering programs and stuff like that? Is that something that is a factor in climate, or do you think that is something that's exaggerated or something? Just wondering what you think about that. Anyway, so let's keep this going, and thank you for the Guardian Wings, Jen Jadan. Elon Musk will take a 20-minute flight in his private jet to avoid traffic that would account for my entire lifetime use of plastic water bottles. Exactly. It's just like, that's the thing, right? Most people probably aren't really consuming that much, um, or, I mean, or they're not putting out that much carbon footprint compared to these biggest offenders. Like, and it's like you had people like Leonardo DiCaprio friggin', virtue signaling about, climate change or something, but yet he was exposed of, having a yacht that's really quite, sort of bad for the environment or something, supposedly according to them with all these emissions. So on one hand, he's talking about climate change and whatever, but yet he's doing the thing that is contributing to it. Like, how can you take these people seriously? Like, if they want people to take them seriously, then they need to practice what they preach, don't they? Nothing wrong with traveling on private jets to use impulsion technology, not fuel the whole time. Look at the physics of the planes. Where does the fuel get held in an F1 jet, for example? Okay. I'm not like 100% sure, but I'm sure like that a private jet would probably be a lot more. Um, I don't know. You're probably putting out a lot more fuel than just like a trip to the shop in a car or something. I don't know. Pure red ego. What do you mean? Oh, here we go again. Jack says, I had a crazy experience yesterday. What was that? Laws for thee, but not for me. Yeah, no, that's the thing, isn't it? That's the hypocrisy of it. Oh, yeah, yeah, I live in York, Juno. Yeah. What about you? Anyway, hope you're all doing well. Um, This old man was getting jumped by two guys, and I decided to jump, and he didn't stand a chance against the three of us. Oh God, the hell. Abigail Agatha, thank you for the likes. How you doing? Hope you're well. Um, Jesus Christ, logically. Okay, thank you, Irish Logic. How are you doing today? Hope all is well. Yeah, if anyone's new here, please can you subscribe? Please can you follow? That would be really appreciated. Okay. So yeah, three stags. How you doing? I hope you're well. Good afternoon. Thank you for the rose, Junitineng. Hello, Kruno. You are not even brown. It's my name's Brown. Thank you for the follow, Fran Fonseca. Well, my hair is brown, I guess, but yeah. Anyway, is everybody okay? Welcome to my live. Hope you're all having a great day. Hello, Susie. Good to see you again. How have you been? Hello, Drago Dragos Puka. I don't know. What's that? What is that? C. I don't know. Jester says, I agree. Celebs are clueless. I think climate change happens anyway, but maybe we can slow the process a little. I don't know. Like, it's just, it's like there's this whole narrative of climate emergencies and stuff like that. And I don't know. It's all these kind of doomsday predictions and things like that. Hello, John Tessico. Good to see you. How are you today? They're trying to lecture people, but I don't know. I mean, I guess like thank you for the follow-up, Mavapesh. Obviously, places like China, for example, have a lot of emissions coming out, but thing is, we are responsible for a lot of that. You could say by like Emma, how you doing? By say getting like buying stuff from China, I suppose. I don't know. Thank you for the roses, Jantesico, but then it's like a lot of people do that because it's cheaper and stuff like that, more convenient. So I don't know. What we're saying. Oh, yeah, yeah. But yeah, basically, yeah, celebs tend to be like out of touch with reality, I find, because they're not usually smart people, to be honest. It seems like usually the smartest people, oftentimes the smartest people are never as successful as some of the dumb people. Hello, Sachin. Some people in the chat seriously have to be on something. Some guy said you aren't even Brownie playing your last name. Some people, man. I know. It's just stupid, isn't it? Hello, Korkong. How you doing? Hope you're well today. I don't know what is up with some people, eh? Um, I don't know. But yeah, when it comes to this climate stuff, it's like, thank you for the follow, Miss G. I mean, I do think that maybe we are contributing a little bit to climate change. If we're putting out emissions, it theoretically would do a little bit, at least on a local level anyway, because I've seen how, for example, in cities, temperatures are warmer than in the countryside. A lot of that is due to um, the heat that's getting put out. But so a lot of that isn't actually the CO2 itself that is actually causing that. It's due to radiation. It's due to heat. So yeah. So that's the oftentimes a big reason for that. And anyway, I'm 30 years old. How old are you? Thank you for the follow, Yuli. Floyd, do you mean all the billion-dollar investments that are happening on the Manhattan waterbed fronts? What's that about? Anyway, is everybody all right today then? Nice to meet you all. If you're new here, please can you give me a follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm doing fine, thank you. Ibtisam, how are you today? Hope you're well. Um, yeah, I don't know. The word communism, it seems to have been kind of like, to me, communism. I don't even know if true communism's ever been done. Because to me, communism is a lack of, like hierarchies and stuff. But the thing is, if you have a government, does that not contradict the whole thing of communism? Because one of the ideas of communism is that there is no hierarchies, um, that there is no like top down authority or anything like that. So I would have thought that, how could you have a communism with like a dictator? It doesn't make sense to me because people talk about North Korea and all that, but by definition, like, how is that even communism then? Thank you for the follow. I don't know. I hear people throwing out the word communism all the time, but do people even know what communism even means? So, like, let's have a look and see what communism actually means. So, let's have a look and see what the actual definition, kind of understand what we're talking about. Here's a theory or system of social organization in which all property is owned by the community and each person contributes and receives according to their ability and needs. Her home country was thrown into turmoil following the fall of communism in Europe. So, I mean, I remember we were talking about like having a classless society and all that, but by having a classless society, shouldn't that also mean that there's no government because they would be seen as like a class of their own, if you get me? So how can that even work? Hello, Larice. How you doing? Al Gore kicked it off in 1985 with an inconvenient truth where he presented a fraudulent graph, the hockey stick graph. What was that? We have no choice in participating in these societies. It is forced upon us with the threat of violence if we don't follow others. Yeah, no. In the Communist Manifesto by Karl Marx, he mentions a group of people who believe in essentially democratic economies, but it originates from Bolshevism. Is it Bolshevism you're talking about? IDK, how it's spelled. I think you're talking about Bolshevism. I remember there's Bolshevik, which is like like Russian thing or something. Yeah. Hello, it's Dravany. How you doing? Yeah, I've heard of James Corbett. Yeah, I remember I've watched a few videos of his. I remember he did some stuff on the CV stuff and Oppenheimer. I've not seen that actually, but I've heard about it. Sounds good in theory, but in practice, it seems to lead to millions of deaths every time. But what I'm saying is that, was it actually real communism? Because, like I said, if you have a dictator, then how is that even communism? If the idea of it is to have a classless society, then does that not mean that it's pretty much like anarchy? Like how can you have like a communist? How can you have communism with a ruthless dictator? I don't understand that because wouldn't they not be able to like it basically, if there was a government, they wouldn't be able to do anything by force. It would have to be by the like agreement of society, because that's communism. If you have a government that is actually trying to sort of force their way onto people, then therefore it isn't communism anymore. I would have thought, because you are then basically a class above society. Basically, but what they're saying is that society is classless, but basically that the government isn't society. Is that what it's saying? That the government is something else, and therefore that's how they're able to kind of, I don't know. Thank you, Jester. So what is it then? Communism is BS or correct, because how can anything be enforced? No police, no universal income or anything, because nothing is backed up. Well, this is the thing. If well, that's where I mean, I think there could be like a sort of thing, what's called like, thank you for the rose. Uh, Do you have any? There's a thing called night watchman state. I don't know if you've heard of that before, but that's some call it minarchy or whatever, where that you would only have the government step in when absolutely necessary. Hello, Miss Marissa, like for example, for like defense or anything like that. Um, but basically, for the most part, people are just kind of doing kind of like like whatever the will of society is, that's what goes or something. I don't know. Communism always sounds great, but putting it into practice might be difficult. You'd always get those nutters who would try and sabotage anything good. I think it's just the thank you for the follow El Canaro. The whole thing of no hierarchies is the problem with that is that I think it would lead to stagnation. I think that is what would actually happen is that if everybody gets, the same wages and things like that, if we don't have like, you know, say like we wouldn't have innovators, I don't think, or at least not as many. Because what incentive does society have to innovate if they are not going to be rewarded for that? If they're all just going to end up earning the same as everybody else. You get me? Who the hell's going to like risk, actually like having to try and come up with some new idea to then have to then, well, I say they employ people to work with them. So then they have to kind of all earn the same money. That doesn't make any sense. It was intriguing to me. I read that when I was in my medical terminology class, since I'm working on achieving an MD. Oh, cool, that's good. I mean, some can't even have a normal debate or conversation on here, let alone anything else. Yeah, no, some people just are stupid and yeah. But I was just talking in terms of like hierarchies and stuff like that, where people think, oh, yeah, it'd be great if, everything was all fair and all that. But it's like, to me, it isn't fair if you invent something and then you have to then, share all your money with everybody else who just, you know, come along for the ride once you've already established it, you know? Thank you for the follow, Maria. Like, why would you, you know, have to give the, equal amount to everybody? I think it depends on your, like level in that. And it's so I don't believe in like, yeah. Hello, Stella. Stella Artois. I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. It's just tough. Conversations actually don't exist, they're just a theory. Free energy is real, government's hiding. So what free energy is out there? Because a lot of it's below the BS, the stuff you see online. Hello, Jack. Because you'll see, go on YouTube's, like, for example, and type in free energy. There'll be a bunch of like probably hoax videos about that. So yeah, okay, Jester. Yeah, some people just go on about my camera quality or whatever. It's like okay, whatever. Anyway, all these things are just governments lying as problems create profit. More problems in society equals more profit. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what they do. They create all these problems or the illusion of a problem. Sometimes the problem doesn't even exist. Like, for example, weapons of mass destruction. Because a lot of people would say there was never such a thing, but the government used that as an excuse to go to war in Iraq. Hello, Alex Realm. Um, have you seen all the old cathedrals? Or yeah, I've seen all that. Like, I've seen people saying about that and how that they were. I mean, how do we know that though? I mean, it's all theory, right? There's all these conspiracy theories and stuff, and people just trying to like kind of fill in the kind of like because unless we were there to build it, then we wouldn't know exactly what it was for. But it was like, why can't we do any of that now then? If it's some kind of, I don't know. Surely someone would have figured it out, right? If I mean, there's a what is it, Tesla coils? I mean, I don't know. I'm just skeptical because I've been down the whole conspiracy rabbit hole and realized a lot of it's bullshit. You know, there is some legitimate stuff, but like a lot of the conspiracy stuff is BS. Like, there's people out there fucking transvestigating people and shit like that. Like, there's people saying that like space is completely fake and that we are in a fixed realm and that there's a firmament above us, which is the heavens and all this kind of bullshit, you know? Like, there's a lot of people with too much time on their hands, I think, and they get all into like paranoid delusional theories, you know? I don't know if I offended anyone there, but anyway. Yeah, so I've been down all these crazy rabbit holes. Hello, Desi May, how you doing? So I'm just a bit kind of skeptical of all these things. I mean, I can say, there could be something to things like, like what is it, crop circles and stuff like that. I mean, there does seem to be some evidence that they are not all done by humans or whatever, and it's so there's certain things like I said that are anyway. Hello, Abina, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. I'm all right, thank you, Daisy May. When are you going live? I've not really stopped by for a while, but yeah, hope everyone's having a good day. I just find it all a bit kind of like I don't know with all this sort of hello, Tiger, how you doing? I mean, what aspect? What are you talking about? Well, I'm just talking about like because you get all these people say, "Oh, look, in the Bible it says like the Earth is flat or something," but okay, well then the Bible is wrong then if that's what it's saying. Maybe it doesn't literally mean that. Maybe I don't know. Like because scientifically it's not flat. Like, and I'm not going to get into a debate on that because anyone that says it is just ignorant and just kind of, or they just don't have enough intelligence to try and understand the reality of it. Thank you for follow everybody. Like, I can't believe there's actually people that still believe in all that stuff. Do I recognize your face? No, I'm from England. Anon fella. Hello, young boss. How you doing today? I remember reading about hypothyroidism in some sort of classes. By far, the most intriguing part was around that subject. Why is that then? I mean, like, the whole flat Earth theory is just, I don't know, bunch of science denial, I would say. Lenny says, "Are you still single? Why?" Yeah, I am, but why? Anyway, hope everyone's well today. Yeah, I'm from England. I don't know why people think I don't sound like I'm from England. Like I've been down that theory before, Ben, but like it's like people can't even explain like certain things on it. So yeah, used to do videos. Yeah, yeah, I've done videos about that before, but anyway. Jester says flat Earth theory is bonkers. Yeah, no. Hello, eclectic. How you doing? Like, for example, they can't explain sunsets. Like, why does the sun curve down to the horizon? They can go on about perspective all they want, but if that's really the case, then why doesn't the sun appear to shrink as it goes to the horizon? Why does it maintain the same size? Because if it really was, it would not. So that in itself just, but you can go on about, oh, but that doesn't prove the shape of the earth. Well, but it just exactly kind of fits being on a globe. So yeah. Hello, Enlin. So yeah, it's hello, mini Jim. Even things like bolts disappearing bottom up and stuff like that, you can see it if you get a like a good enough camera. Hello, Final Destination. How you doing today? Hello, Shaylin. Men's well, I mean, women suffer in their own way, I think. But yeah, I do agree that men loneliness, but yeah. Hello, Simon. But women have to go through a lot of like hormonal stuff, you know. I've heard that being a woman can really be rough. They have to deal with periods, they have to deal with their hormonal fluctuations. So, well, it might seem like they're easy, but like it's easy to be a woman, but then there is things that women have to go through that even things like, if they have children, they have to go through childbirth, which can be, more pain than you've probably ever been through. So there is ways that being a woman could be quite difficult. You could argue, well, in this day and age, a lot of women aren't having it. So a lot of women are just kind of being more privileged now and getting higher paid jobs and things like that. So, but I mean, anyway, I do agree that a lot of men's issues are being ignored and stuff. Yeah, it is just ridiculous. It's like even say like on social media, they do seem to have it easier. Like simps throwing in money and shit like that. And if you're a woman and you're modestly attractive, then it can be easier to actually kind of even if you just even some women that are not even attractive can actually do well on social media. That they just like they could go live and just maybe show a bit of cleavage or something and then get fucking 20, 30 quid in an hour just by doing nothing. So yeah. Hello, Indiana Yuns. How you doing? Fine, I feel the pain, brother. Just boost your testosterone up, work out, and make a lot of money. Yeah. Well, a lot of that stuff's easier said than done, though, isn't it? Making money isn't that easy these days, is it? I don't know, but thank you for sharing, Nick. Yeah, yeah. Feminism, like modern feminism, I don't really believe is about equality anymore. Like I would say, it used to be like when they wanted like equality of things like voting and equal pay, things like that. First and second wave and all that. But then once it got to third and fourth wave, I think that's when it just got out of hand, really. And loneliness is a problem for both men and women. I agree. But it does seem as though society is kind of, it does seem that you could say it's more catered towards helping women generally, but like there seems to be more support. It might be the better support groups and stuff like that, support networks and stuff, whereas men oftentimes suffer in silence. But some people do say that women tend to get more depressed than men, and maybe it's a hormonal thing. I don't know, but like I said, hormonal fluctuations with women. So I don't. It's like unless you're a woman, you wouldn't understand what they go through, even if it seems as though they're having it easy. But you know, oftentimes they might be putting on a brave face, and a lot of women have been through traumas and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you for the follow up, Kosovo. So we can't just make these blanket statements and things that yeah. Um, Ben says Margaret Thatcher in the feminist movement. What do you mean? Well, there was that whole Iron Lady thing. You heard about the whole like uh, boss chick thing or something? Is that what you're talking about? Just curious. Do you go by Jamie or JB? I go by Jamie. Hello, Gordak. Yes, I'm British. Yeah. Um, yeah. So like Maggie Thatcher. Yeah. Hello, Anthony. That's why some men turn trans to earn money. Yeah, yeah, trans maxing. Have you seen that, guys? There was literally like, I don't know if it was like a Channel 4 thing or something called, they're talking about trans maxers, where they become a woman to try and get the benefits of being a woman or something without actually being a woman. I mean, wasn't she an anthropologist? What's that? Maggie Thatcher or something? Um, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. That would be really appreciated. But the thing is, as long as we can, we can debate certain things, as long as it doesn't get heated and stuff. So I can disagree with certain conspiracy theories. I can agree on some things, but like we have to be able to be mature and be able to kind of, sort of like agree to disagree and stuff. Thank you for the follow, Decky. I mean, yeah, it's like, for example, with the CV stuff, it's like some people say it's completely fake, but I don't agree with that. Like, I do think that there was this like, I think it was actually from a lab or something, but I think, yeah, but the different people have different opinions on that. But I have my own take on things, and everyone can sort of, have their own opinions. That everyone's entitled to that. She's the founder of modern anthropology. I didn't know that. So like, yeah, I just remember that apparently, like when Margaret Thatcher was in, things were not good or something, and like something about shafting the miners or something like that, and basically that she just kind of caused a lot of problems or something. She was not a very nice person, some would say, and Godak says, I don't know about the Venezuela and Greenland. I mean, it's just chaos right now, isn't it? Hello, Nicholas. How you doing? Hope you're well. Tiger says awesome. Margaret Thatcher changed the movement from fighting against the system to essentially working harder within the system, make your own situation better, making women think they don't need men. She was a muppet, destroyed the minds of women. I mean, I think that like it's good that they can become independent and like I don't think they should need men. Like I think that is, you could say that is kind of like an oppressive thing. I don't really agree with what you're saying there. I mean, you shouldn't need somebody, like I think that can be toxic because you're like you should be with somebody because you want to be with them, not because you need to be with them. Because you could say that gave a lot of men like leverage and it kind of was toxic. Because a lot of men a lot of women ended up feeling kind of like forced to just stay with their partner because they needed them for security and all that. There was a lot of abuse happening, and a lot of them couldn't get out of it because they were dependent on them, which I think is wrong. So, you know, so I don't agree with what you're saying there. But I do think that Margaret Thatcher did a lot of bad. But some argue that there was a thing where she did the right to buy thing. Some argue that was good. Some say it was bad. What do you think about that? The whole right to buy scheme, because some say it was good because it allowed people to get on the property ladder who wouldn't have otherwise been able to do it. Whereas some people say that it took affordable housing off the market. So, what are your thoughts? It's biological, not oppressive. It makes them depressed. Men need women and women need men. It's not toxic. It's basic biology and physiology. Well, I don't know really. It's thank you for the follow, Shiny. I don't think we should be dependent on each other. Yeah, we can feel, we can be better with each other. I think we're better together. We're better, man and woman come together. I think that can be great. And it's like, but to feel the need to have somebody else for your own survival or for your own existence or your own happiness, I think there's a toxic thing about that, you know? Like you should be about wanting somebody, not desperately needing to have somebody. I think that is where people end up getting abused and taken advantage of. So, yeah, anyway. But yeah, Margaret Thatcher was the prime minister. Yeah, she was prime minister for a long time, wasn't she? I think she was in from what's it, 1979 to like I think the early 90s or something. She was in for I think as long as she could possibly be in for. I think I think she served all the terms of as long as you could. Generally, how you doing? The right to buy it has was to stop building council houses. Yeah, I mean, so I mean, you could argue that. Well, I mean, like, why would you stop building council houses if there's a right to buy? Then it's like you would just build more council houses, then, wouldn't you? I don't know. Like, if it's giving people a chance to like have a house that they buy, but then you could say, well, what if they then sell that house and then there's less council houses on the market then or something? I don't know. But oftentimes when people have these council houses, they stay there for a very long time. Like they don't oftentimes move very quickly from them. Um, yeah, it's not up to us. Like we study in reality and look at the design, and if we go with it, then we become happy and healthy. If we go against nature, we will fail. It's not necessarily needing someone, it's just looking at how reality works and functions. It's like we need water or liquid to survive. It's got negative and positive aspects like everything. Yeah, we need water and food to survive, but we don't need to be with somebody to survive though. Like, hello Matthew, how you doing? You have to learn to be happy with yourself. That is when you can actually, you know, it's about freeing yourself in that sense of like you can be happy by yourself. That doesn't mean you can't be more happy with somebody, but you have to at least have a certain baseline level of happiness and fulfillment in life without the need to have somebody. Because as soon as you act needy and needing to have somebody, you've already lost. You're either not you're going to turn them off, or you're going to end up just attracting toxic people that take advantage of you. We need a spouse to be happy and healthy. There is a lot of research on this. I mean, there seems to be research that there's a lot of happy single people as well. So yeah, I mean, it can also be a liability in a lot of ways. Actually, you know, like if I got with some woman, it could be a liability. Like I tend to be quite frugal and quite sort of so unless they're willing to kind of fall in line with that, then it might not work, because I don't want to be like stressing myself out trying to sort of please somebody else. If I'd rather be on my own than have to try and be you know constantly trying to provide for somebody who, I don't know. Hello, gold, silver. Hang on a sec. I need to just get rid of this one because the account looks like, hello, Nilan. You speak a lot of sense. What you're saying. Life is much better with a girl by your side. I mean, it can be with the right one, but a good woman is the best. Single is the middle. A bad woman will be hell. You're correct. I need to explain myself better. I mean, like like I said, you have to learn to have happiness regardless. Now, yeah, you can be more happy with the right woman, but they also need to be like someone who isn't just going to drain you financially and end up, because that can then force you into like working harder to maintain that. And hello Kim Passa. Oh really? Oh, here we go. So what I'd say is like, you know if you feel like you're having to like change who you are to be with somebody, then it's probably not the best idea that you're with them, is it? If you're having to like for example, if you were somebody who was quite frugal, but then suddenly you now start trying to work your way up a career ladder or something to try and attract somebody, you know, like I would rather that I would just be by myself and just live like that. Hello, Anthony. Yeah. A woman who drains your bank supply is worse than elites drain. Yeah, yeah, that's right. Hello, Lord. Like, why would anyone want to stay with someone like that? It's like you've got this friggin'. Have you seen that Akash guy with that wife of his, and then she goes on social media bragging about like saying, "Oh, I was popping my pussy when I was with these frat boys," and it's like so she's publicly humiliating this guy that she's with. She apparently pretended to be a virgin while she was with him, and then bragging about how much she was popping her pussy and all that. And she was saying, "Oh, my money." Well, sorry, his money is our money, and my money is my money. Like, yeah, oh yeah, thank you, poker time. Is it, like the guy is just like, I mean, is he? I don't know. I've heard he's been in some like therapy or something, and yeah, I don't even know what he even says in it, to be honest. Like, I mean, I don't know. He's just been humiliated, like that guy. It's like he's a. I mean, he's like a comedian. You'd have thought, like, okay, he's quite successful, and yeah, uh, yeah, he's quite a successful sort of guy, but I don't know. But apparently, he'd been in therapy or something. Let's have a look. I mean, he apparently had some like what is it called? Like sort of attachment style or something. Um, that he'd been in therapy for like what was it 10 years or something? 10 years in. Thank you for the follow, Ellen. So yeah, so it says, um, let me have a look. Let's see. I just remember someone was talking about this. I don't know if it was some fake BS or something, um, but basically, like, yeah, like, why is he putting up with all this? It's about him having attachment issues or something, because that can be. This is what I mean when it comes to like this neediness and like when you have too much attachment to somebody, they can just do whatever they want and you would still forgive them. And yeah, so like so basically like talking about lack of boundaries and self-worth. So some analysis suggests Akash displays a lack of confidence and boundaries, tolerating disrespect because he fears losing the relationship, which is framed as an attachment issue or a common struggle for South Asian men due to specific cultural programming. So I've been hearing stuff about South Asian men apparently struggling with dating. I mean, I'm not 100% sure about this, but could this be why some of them might struggle because of the cultural thing about it? I mean, that they are maybe a bit more submissive and more kind of like I don't know, just because who would put up with all this disrespect from their spouse? I mean, I don't know. I don't know that one, Chester. I've seen bits of whatever podcast, and I think Fresh and Fit podcast is one of the worst podcasts out there. To be honest, I mean, like some of the stuff they say is very questionable, to say the least. I've seen stuff from that podcast, and yeah, they might come up with some good bits at times, but it's the whole concept of it anyway that they bring up these OF girls who are arguably some of the worst examples of females. So it's like a sort of low hanging fruit, you could say. Like it's sort of just a cherry picked bit of society that it's an easy kind of straw man, you could say. So I don't like that. Why not just leave him? Why humiliate him? I know, but some people just like to do that, for their own gain. Maybe because she's getting some benefit out of it. Like if he's paying for a shit, he's paying for a lifestyle, then thank you for the likes, Georgia. How you doing? I hope you're well. If he's paying all this stuff, then she's getting like, I mean, yeah, I know it's banging all his mates and boss. Are you talking about the Akash's wife, Jasleen or something? Honestly, why was she's got it great. He's the sucker, not her. She's playing him. That's like saying, why don't slave owners get rid of their slaves? Exactly. That's the thing, is that she's playing him and she's getting something out of it. He's the one that's, you know, he's the cook. He's the mug. Some they used to call it mug, don't they? Thank you for the follows, everybody. He's the he is allowing it, Anthony. He deserves it. It's his fault for being so weak. I mean, I can sort of like, I get what you're saying. I mean, but it's like, I just feel like some people, they have their own issues that um they need to work on, and so you could say he deserves it, and I can understand that, and I can feel like that sometimes. But I try to sort of sympathize with the mental health and if it was some kind of cultural programming, and that's just something that he's been maybe brainwashed with. It's like, for example, some women I can sympathize as well when they've been brainwashed to think certain things, and then they end up kind of um, falling victim to um, things down the line. So, like, they were told that, just go out and be free in your 20s, and then they end up like, struggling when they get, older. So I can sympathize with people who, because they've been hoodwinked. They've been, you know, if it were a man, you lot would be slaughtering him. What you're saying, that if it was a man doing the hmm, she is she is a predator, but nature is very harsh. We need to align with reality and not get too weak ourselves. It's harsh but true. Yeah, but I think it's good that, because of what happened, right? Even some women were actually siding with him, like, as in they weren't siding with her. She was like, I mean, you could argue though that he deserves it, but some of the women were saying that, what she was doing was wrong. So, if the thing is, right, if it gets to a certain point, even women will actually turn on that woman, because oftentimes people can have certain biases, can't they? Like, say, but I think we need to not have like biases really like that, because I mean, like, because like, thank you for the rose, John Brown. Like, because, like, for example, people can defend men or because they're a man, and then women defending women because they're women. Like, we've got to look at things objectively, you know, and not just side with your side because it's your side. Like, if someone does something wrong, then you've got to hold them accountable for it, you know? Well, yeah, he is a comedian, but then the thing is, right, she was trying to make out like he was, um, because he was making jokes, and the thing is, right, this is the difference, because when she was doing it, she wasn't making out like it was just some kind of skit or something. Like, she was making out like dead serious that what she was saying, that this wasn't just some kind of joke. Like, she was putting stuff out on her social media, being all dead serious. So she can't really use that excuse of, oh, well, it's because he was making these things in the comedy, just joking and saying stuff about her. But then when she's doing it on her own thing, she's like putting it out as though she's like dead serious, and that she's, this influencer now, and that she's, going on about popping her pussy, like she's just really dead serious about that. She's doing the wrong thing, but he is in control of his own life. We can't feel sorry for him if he's not willing to stand up for himself. what are we 5 years? I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying, but some people have been broken down psychologically. Some and you know, there's like some people they get broken down and they I don't know, or they've just never really had that upbringing where they've been kind of encouraged to have boundaries and stuff like that. So I don't know if it's a cultural thing or if it's his upbringing or what. But according to this AI overview thing, it talks about I think it talks about like South Asian men, a common struggle of South Asian men due to specific cultural programming. This attachment issue thing that I was on about. So there is certain environmental factors, is what I'm saying, that can affect how people are, and it's same with like when women act a certain way, and like when they get sort of it's like, and I don't agree with say like when women all say sleep with some guy that they've just met because he pressed the right buttons, he said the right things, and now she goes to bed with him, and then he leaves her, and now she's crying because he won't commit to her. Well, what did you expect? You know, so you could say it's her fault in that situation, but at the same time, it's just people have certain things in their own mind. I've come to realize that oftentimes we're not in control of how we feel about certain things, and but I don't know. Only who you defending? What you say? I'm not defending her. I'm just saying that um, people have certain kind of I don't know. I've kind of even thought at times that does free will even exist? You know, because we all make decisions based on our brain chemistry and stuff like that, and our environment at that time. Like sometimes we have these impulses, and you could say we should control those impulses, but some people just can't. It's just one of those things. It's I don't know. Like I don't know. It's a tricky one. I understand women like the back of my hand. The amount of girls I have slept with on the first date, and and then turn around and hate me because they expect me to commit after they be. I know it is a joke. Like if you're gonna expect them to commit to you if they're gonna sleep with you on the first date, because that to me, like it could be a way to like test somebody, couldn't it? It's like if they're willing to sleep with you on the first date, then they'd be for the streets, right? Because they're like, you know, maybe they should be a bit more kind of like if they're not willing to sleep with you right away, then they might actually be a bit more, yeah, trustworthy. So that could be a way to see. It's like, and then you could say to them, "I was just seeing, what you would, how you would, yeah, do that." So like, yeah, so it could be a way to test them because they love to test men, don't they? Right? So you could test them and see, okay, how much of a 3 or 4 are they? How much are they willing to like? Are they willing to sleep with you at the first date? Because if they are, then you probably shouldn't be doing that, you know? Because that's just if you want a long term relationship with somebody and they're willing to sleep with you on the first date, then they're probably the type that's probably more likely to cheat. So that could be a way to kind of like a litmus test, you could say, to see is this person actually going to, you know, are they do they have any like self control basically? Because if they're willing to hold it off a bit, that means that they have some self control, and a lack of self control is probably indicated with like a lack of say faithfulness and stuff, and because those types are probably the ones that have less self-control are, more likely to cheat because of feelings and stuff like that. But yeah, yeah, that's absolutely sick if they're gonna do that. Like there was one that there's a guy who unalived himself because of his missus that was, I think, if I remember, she was the mother of his kids or something, was actually like, I think on Snapchat or something like that, um, rubbing in his face about sleeping with some other guy. So it's just sick. Like, what kind of sicko would do something like that? Like, I hope that she, you know, she doesn't, kind of get out of jail or something. I mean, yeah, people like that should be like, throw away the key with them type of people. Because but I don't even know if she even went to jail for that. Because probably not. But I think they should do and throw away the fucking key. But I don't know, because those are the type of people I don't think should be in society. Hello, Titch, how you doing? Andrew Wilson. I don't know. I just saw that one of the guys on whatever podcast got destroyed. You know the guy that was on Fresh and Fit with Wes Watson? I saw that he got destroyed because he was exposed as like a hypocrite or something, and he had nothing to say. So I don't really take a lot of these people seriously because a lot of them are hypocrites themselves. It's like, isn't Myron Gaines a bit of a hypocrite as well? Like he's just, I don't know, on that Fresh and Fit podcast. Where do I live? I live in the UK. What about you? Like, a lot of these people on these podcasts are hypocrites. Um, all they do is cause pain to good people. Yeah, what's that? Chastity? What you mean? Fathers should be lock it. Oh, really? Yeah, it's just there's really like bad people out there, really. Anyway, I might have to restart the live, guys. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Um, yeah. I hope everyone's well today. Keep the chat flowing, everyone. I don't know. It's like some of these people can have some good things to say, but then it's like when Myron Gaines was saying stuff like, oh, the man should care less in a relationship. I think it should be about 50-50. And I think the problem is that you've got a Cash who cares too much, but I think it needs to be about 50-50. Like otherwise there's a leverage. So one side has leverage over the other. And I don't think that's toxic. I think that's toxic whether it's a man or a woman. I don't think any side should care less than the other. It should be about 50-50. Hello Esha, how you doing? Like it should be more like equal, but yeah. Unfortunately you've got in a lot of cases there's imbalances. Either the man or the woman cares less. Now, some might say the man should care less because they're more focused on the grind or whatever. But I think that the man should be like, you know, should care as much as the woman in the relationship otherwise you know, like I said, it's the whole power dynamic thing really that can be toxic. My ex was messaging multiple other women while I was in hospital. I have no time for cheats, and that's not good, is it? Yeah, I know. Cheats are just really just not good people, probably. But I think a lot of it's just it's a lack of self control and a lack of just I don't know. And for some people, it's just they get bored really easily. And in that case, it's like it seems like they have in some cases something wrong psychologically. I remember talking about this thing on polyamory the other day, and this whole thing of oh, I need novelty or something. It's like that. So that just sounds like a kind of I don't know what it is, but you could say it's human nature, but I don't think it's like a set in stone human nature thing to have to go and with other people and stuff. I don't know. Like, can you just go leave me alone if you just put negative shit? What is wrong with these? Nicki Minaj. Oh God. Yeah, yeah. It's like yeah, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, all them people. I just think they're really bad for society. To be honest with you, it's like the kind of messages that they're putting out. It's just really bad. Like, yeah, like you got people looking up to these degenerates. Like wanting to emulate them, and then people wonder why society is the way it is. It's just like how a lot of men got kind of caught up in the whole kind of gang culture and things like that, and a lot of that was because of like the music and the media that was put out that glorify these things. Been going on since Madonna. Oh yeah. Social media has made it far too easy for people to be unfaithful. I agree. Yeah. Yeah, it's just that's the thing. You've got dating apps, you've got even things like Instagram. People use that to go and message random people now to organize dates with them and stuff. So yeah, some might say, "Oh, dating apps are good because they've." Well, I argue a lot of the time dating apps don't even work. But but when they do work and people get lucky and they can be somebody who attracts a lot of people on them, they can use that to sort of, what I mean? That they can use that to sort of cheat on people, especially if there's somebody that's quite attractive and they know what to say on there and they can charm people. They could easily go and cheat on somebody. Right, I'm gonna like, yeah. I think um, even animals don't behave like that. Hmm. Yeah, it's just like I find human nature is quite. Is it human nature or is it partly nurture? You know, is part of it just the nurture of like all this brainwashing and yeah. What are you dying laughing from? What do you mean? Right, I'm restarting the YouTube live.